how I ended up being HIV positive and how at which point they discovered I was HIV positive. So she explained to say, Mom happened to discover about her status when she was pregnant for my young brother. And they were forced to also have me tested when I was 4 years. So they came to know about my status when I was 4 years. So it was at 4 years when I began my treatment for ARVs. And my mom couldn't take it. My mom ended up killing herself because she just couldn't bear the treatment, the stigma. Like, she just had a lot on her table. So she couldn't fight for us. She just ended up so quickly. So down the line, grandma had the chance to give me a certain box where there were some letters from my mom. I wrote the letters. I was just like, anyway, it happened. But mom, you're just a coward to kill yourself.
Hello, and wherever you're watching us, this is the Think Top podcast with me, Professor Wilbroad, and today I've got an exciting story to share with you. Please don't go away. We are discussing some very important topics, and my guest today has gone through a lot of things, and she has come out a winner. And today I want us to know and hear the story of this lovely lady. Her name is Namakau Mundia. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you here at our podcast. Yes. Namakau, people who are watching us are wondering who I'm talking to today. So who is Namakau?
Okay, so Namakau Mundia, she's a young lady who's passionate about the well-being of the young people born and living with HIV. Away from that, Namakau Mundia, she's a registered midwife nurse and stationed at Soko Medical Center. Away from that, I'm also a mentee for the National Health Research Authority. I'm an advocate coordinator for Women in Global Health Zambia. And I'm also an alumni on the Obama Foundation, representing Zambia for the cohort of 2025 and 2026. Away from that, I'm also a community mobilizer under Fighting Quality organization.
Excellent. Wow, so much has happened to you. So Namakau, I met you when we were talking about HIV, the 1st of December and commemorating the HIV Day. So you have got a story about HIV.
Exactly.
And you are very open about it.
Very open.
So thank you. So do you want to tell us about how your story with HIV started and where we are today?
Okay, so my story with HIV started when I was in grade 7. That was back then, should be 2008, somewhere there. It happened when I was in class. The teacher was teaching us about HIV/AIDS, and she was teaching us about the type of drug which people who are HIV positive take. So now, looking at the picture of a drug which was in the book, like a bottle, the drug itself, and then I remember to say, this is a bottle which is home. And this is a medication that I'm taking. And this medication, grandma tells me to say, it has to make me intelligent at school. But
so she was telling, drink this medicine and you'll be intelligent at school.
Exactly. So now, learning about it in class, seeing this exact bottle in the book, being taught by the teacher to say, this is the medication that people who are HIV positive take. Like, it just shocked me. I was like, I was just shocked.
Yeah, I think I can imagine.
I left class right just at that moment, went home, grabbed that bottle, came back to the teacher, and then I asked her, Madam, I'm too much funda mu class, so you work as and then first she was like, yes. So now later on she realized to say she has made a mistake. That's how she grabbed me, she took me to the deputy at office. Then she explained, so now today we're learning about HIV. So we came across she came across the photo in the book, and she just rushed home and brought this bottle. So now I've made a mistake to say, yes, it's the drug which people with HIV take. So now from there, I don't know what next, because I haven't asked her any question. I only responded to the first question she asked. That's how the deputy asked me, so who's the owner of this medication? And I said, it's mine. How do you take it? And I take it every day, 2 times, in the morning and in the evening. Who gives you? Not my grandma. She told me to say this medication has to help me to be intelligent at school, and I shouldn't miss. Is your grandma home? Yes, she's home. Okay, is it okay to go call her out? Sure. That's how I rushed back home. I called grandma. We came back home with grandma at school. So what was discussed in the office, I don't know, because I was outside. But later on, they called me and sat me down, had now to start explaining to me the whole process, because it was at that point where I even knew to say the person I was staying with was not my mom. She was my grandma, because I used to call her to say mom. I was brought up with mom because mom and dad, they divorced long time ago. So more of my growing was with grandma. So it was actually on that very day when I knew to say the person I've been calling mom, she's not my mom, but my grandma. She explained to me how things were and how I ended up being HIV positive, and how at which point they discovered I was HIV positive. So she explained to say, mom happened to discover about her status when she was pregnant for my young brother. And they were forced to also have me tested when I was 4 years. So they came to know about my status when I was 4 years. So it was at 4 years when I began my treatment for ARVs. And my mom couldn't take it. My mom ended up killing herself because she just couldn't bear the treatment, the stigma. Like, she just had a lot on her table. So she couldn't fight for us. She just ended up so quickly. So down the line, grandma had the chance to give me a certain box where there were some letters from my mom. I read the letters. I was just like, anyway, it happened. But mom, you're just a coward to kill yourself.
Now, Namakau, what is the problem there is that people could not disclose early. In terms of from the disclosure discussion until you discovered on your own. So there was some delay in disclosure.
Yeah.
In hindsight, do you think this could have been done differently?
Yes. And this is something that can be done even to our outer viewers who are listening to me. I think at this point in the time where we're moving at, children are learning things at the early stage.
Yeah.
So it's just better to tell the child, even as early as 8 years. 8-year-old child right now know a lot of things, such that, yeah, it is a process for them to understand and process everything, but it is better to start at that age, so that as the child is growing, he or she is understanding what she's going through and the process she's about to encounter as he or she grows, other than discovering it like the way I discovered
By
it.
accident.
By accident.
Yeah.
And in class. Now, what if like other people perceive or receive certain information wrong? What if maybe I even collapsed? Like, maybe others could even think of killing themselves, which I also thought, because I had those thoughts of killing myself.
HIV positive. Okay.
Exactly.
So what happened now? You've discovered that you've got HIV, you're on treatment. Did you decide to continue taking the medication? Or what did you decide when you discovered that this medication was not actually making you intelligent, it was doing something else?
So when I discovered that, the first thought came in my mind was just to die.
Like to kill yourself.
To kill myself. I just told myself, what's the point of me even taking the medication? Since my mom, who brought me on earth, died with this and she killed herself, I think it's also better for me to just follow her, because I see no point of me living. So I just decided to stop taking my medication, because I decided to stop taking my medication.
For how long?
I stopped taking my medication and I stayed without being on treatment for 19 good years. Yes.
And did you have any symptoms, anything that happened to you when you're not taking the medication?
Trust me, like in those days, I can just say it has been God. It was God. Like, I never had any challenges. Never. Not until in 2023, that was November. So what used to happen was I would wake up, I would just have like a limp thing, a growth like, but it was not paining. Today, it will like be on my hand here. The other morning to be maybe on my eye. So like, what's happening to me? So I went to the clinic. That was Kawata Clinic. Then Kawata Clinic referred me to go to UTH so that they can do other tests which they can't offer at the clinic. So when I went to UTH, they did all the tests and nothing was showing. So later on, they just gave me some, what's this, injection hydrocodone, and they gave me some Piriton, and also gave me prednisone, maybe if there was any allergy. So now, when I went back home, but after taking all those medication given, it never stopped. I went back again, then that's how I saw other doctor. They were like, okay, since they did all these tests and then nothing is showing, let's go the other route. Do you know HIV status? Then I laughed. I was like, wow. I was like, yes, doctor, how is it not HIV positive? For how long? not since I was born, but I discovered it when I was 13. But I started my medication when I was 4 years, but stopped when I was 13 years. And I'm like, how old are you now? I'm like, I'm 26. So you mean from 13 to 26,
You are not.
you're not taking medication? Not yes, doc. How have you been surviving? I was like, I've just been surviving like any other normal human being. Like I just take care of myself. I abstain. I make sure I have a balanced diet. And away from that, I normally take like some health stuff. There's this
Supplements.
Supplements, yes. I was like, I do survivment on herb supplements, yes. And then he was like, you know what? You're not confusing me because this is the first time I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
I was like, doctor, I also don't know what to say, but that's the truth. But I normally do my checkups. And then he asked me, so what is your latest viral load? I was like, my latest viral load as of now, it was at 362,000 copies. And then he was like, you're even proud to tell me that.
Yeah. The numbers are yeah.
I was like, doc, like you've asked your question, so now tell
You need the answer.
you need the answer. So now, how is your CD4 count? No, my CD4 count has never dropped above 1,000. It always maintained on the 1,000. When it drops, maybe I'll be at 914, but it just plays within those ranges.
So, are you encouraging people to stop medication? What is your message? You seem to have survived so long without it. Yeah.
So, immune system of each person differs.
Yeah.
I don't know what was
I think
happening.
we are lucky. Really.
God knows how He preserved my life.
We need to study you a bit more.
I think we need to study. So
Okay.
I'm not encouraging people to stop taking their medication. No, that shouldn't be a case. Because I survived it, you think you can survive? Please don't. That's not the route to go.
We thank God for those blusters
Exactly.
because they brought you to the ford.
Exactly.
Excellent. Good. So did you start taking medication from that point?
Yes, I actually started taking my medication, though it was hard.
Yeah.
But I thank God for one preciousness, Sister Tintawalu at Kawata Clinic. She stood by my side in that process. Like, she committed her life, her time, like everything. She supported me in that journey for the past 5 months to come and help me take my medication every day. For the past 5 months, from November 2023 until I reached the point where I've now accepted to take my medication. Like, she could drive at my place every day. Whenever it's like, she'd have asked me, so what am I comfortable to take your medication? Like, okay, that time I was taking it at 20. She could drive every day for the past 5 good months just to make sure that I take my medication.
We thank that sister who dedicated her life to help our friend with the medication. So now there's a lot of stigma around HIV. How has that affected you?
Okay, so for me, I can't say I have received a stigma from society. No. But the stigma that I received was from my own family.
Yeah.
Especially immediate brothers, immediate sisters to my mother. Because I have an immediate auntie, the elder sister to mom, who openly just told me to her face that she can't keep an already dead person in a house. That was a time when I lost grandma. Grandma was a person who accepted me and my young brother the way we were, who was there for us.
And where's your brother?
My brother is very much around.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Very much around. He's in Tonga right now.
Okay.
Sure. So it was just from that point whereby, like, I just felt to understand everything. Why is it that people who are supposed to support us, people are supposed to give us that love, support, care, are the ones who have turned back on us? Like, it was just difficult for me to understand and also carry, because it was coming from people who are close to me.
Who are supposed to protect
you.
So what's your message? Because I think maybe some of the stigma that people are facing, either adults or children, is within the family. So what's your advice to them?
So my advice to the viewers out there is that when someone is living with HIV, mostly what changes them is not the condition itself, it's depression.
Yeah.
Because the way you treat that patient will determine how well the mental well-being of that patient will be. So if
they're contributing to the death.
Exactly, they're contributing to the death.
Not HIV.
Not HIV. Not HIV.
Yeah.
Your mental well-being matters how you are going to live with your life. If you're not mentally okay, trust me, and people are surrounded by you, are not giving you that help you want. You just have to, you just live a life where you even fail to understand what is happening to yourself. You begin to ask yourself questions. Am I even worthy living? Why was I even born in the first place? Why am I still even like surviving?
So you really need support.
You really need support, full support.
Okay.
It could be in the society. I know others received the stigma from society. It could be at work. And this comes to, I do remember, after I finished my nursing school, I was at a home-based care kit. This certain learned people, even learned people discriminate in Prof. This patient, she's after even a health personnel. I found this patient that was in Musaka West, a home-based care. The moment I just started to say, I want to go and refill. And she was like, what do you mean refill? To take my medication. What medication at all? I'm on arts. Why didn't you tell me that you're on arts? I can't like just tolerate somebody staying in under my roof with that condition. And I'm like, I looked at her and I was like, Madam, like, can you hear yourself? You are a medical personnel for that market.
Yeah.
You understand everything. Like, I don't even supposed to start teaching you how HIV is transmitted. You know everything. So where is the discrimination coming from? Where is the stigma coming from? I can't just tolerate that. I was like, okay, madam, you can leave your house. I'm not going to allow you to discriminate me or maybe try to bring me down. I've fought a lot of battles for you to just come.
This one.
Not this one.
Okay.
That's how I decided to leave. So even educated people, trust me,
They are giving
they are giving stigma.
Okay. All right. So there are a lot of young people that are HIV positive. Many of them actually receiving care at UTH there, and some of them have now become women, men, and wanting to get married. What's the message to them that you have today? Like, what encouragement do you have, and how can they move and benefit from life and maximize it? Should they be afraid? What kind of precautions should they take?
So first thing first, that what they can do is, it starts with you yourself. You need to forgive yourself, because many other times we live with the burden of saying, okay, why did my parents do this to me?
Yeah.
And if we look back how it was, back then there was no treatment as like it is right now. So to start with, you need to forgive yourself. You need to forgive your parents. You need to accept reality.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can, there's nothing you're going to do to change what has happened. It has happened. You just have to accept reality, embrace it. And after accepting reality, you need now to discover who you are. You need to ask yourself this question: why is it that I always wake up every day? I'm not dying. Despite of living with HIV, there is a purpose. So you need to discover that purpose. You have a story to tell to the world. The world is waiting to hear your story. You have something to offer. That's the reason you are still living. So you need to discover your purpose. You need to embrace life as it has come. And not only just because you have to live in maybe having self-pity for yourself. No. You're not supposed to live a life of thinking as if you're not worthy of living. You need to embrace life as it is by accepting reality. Once you accept reality, you have to also identify the people whom you surround with. What kind of people are you surrounded with? Are people who are bringing positive in your life? Are they building you? Are they people who are accepting you for who you are and able to push you to the next level? Because for me, quite all right, I had those moments whereby I never even thought to say at some point I can even be the midwife I am today.
Yeah.
I can even go to places I'm going now, right now. Or even, I never thought one day I can even meet you, Prof.
Yeah.
But because I came to accept reality, I embraced the life of living with HIV and told myself to say, I've got a life despite of being HIV. I have dreams to chase. I have goals to achieve.
So that's the message.
That's
today.
the message.
Okay, so you guys have got goals to save, you've got community to save, and you are living, and HIV should not be an hindrance to yourself. There's medication and you should live a full life. That's the story coming from Mundia. So Mundia, we should be closing now. I want just to ask you two things. Can people who have got HIV get married?
Exactly. 100%.
Or can you give encouragement? Because many people say, but that means they should stay single. No, but this is what
Trust me.
So what? Yeah, and tell the people so that people can hear and how safe it is.
It's 100% safe. You can get married to someone who's HIV negative. A negative person can get married to someone who's HIV positive, because what's the most important is you supporting your partner who's HIV positive, because once he or she is taking that medication, chances of you getting that virus are low, because for you being adhering to the treatment, you get to have an undetectable viral load, meaning it is impossible for you to have HIV through sexual intercourse when your viral load is undetectable. But you can have it through other means and ways. But when your viral load is undetectable, it's difficult for you to get HIV. And it's also possible for you to have babies who are HIV negative, because you live a normal life. You are prevented with the treatment that you are taking. You're receiving your support from your family, from your friends, from workplace, like everywhere you are. If you are receiving that full support, even your mental well-being become well, because you know to show you have got full support that is surrounding you. You're taking your medication, you're having a full balanced diet, you're exercising, you're just embracing life as it is. So it's possible.
Because sometimes families even enter, oh, you want to marry somebody who's...
Exactly.
Yeah, what's your message to those families?
So families, please listen to me very well. Alo muntu akota HIV, te burden inangushani. They have also a life to live. Ukota HIV is not that that's the end of the world, or maybe it's a burden which you can't allow your sons, your daughters to get married to someone who's HIV positive. There's treatment. That treatment will help them to do what? To have a normal life, just like those who are even HIV negative. HIV is even better than other conditions. If we talk of diabetes, if we talk of hypertension, those are deadly conditions. But with HIV, it's even different, because HIV, you just take the medication once. And once your viral load is undetectable, you can't even experience any worry, because you just live a normal full life. Other than those who are on these other conditions like my diabetes, my hypertension, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we got the message to the community, to everyone out there, that we should not stigmatize people who have got HIV. They can get married, they can have children. Key is to talk to your doctors, make sure that your HIV is controlled, the virus are controlled, and you take precautions in times when you are not sure what is happening to you. So people who are HIV positive can also get married to HIV negative, and the other way around. I think this stigma has been going around, and we are making people not maximize their life. And it was good to hear the story from actually Namakau. So Namakau, last question. You are running an organization. Can you just talk about it just briefly and what the goal of that organization is?
Okay, so my foundation is called Resilient Hearts Foundation. And this foundation was based on my lived experience. As I have explained, born and living with HIV, survival of sexual abuse, and once a street kid. I've taken back myself to those days where I look back and see how hard it was for me to come out open, to share my burdens, because I used to move with questions where I couldn't know the answers. I used to move with fear within me. Like I just had a lot of burdens carrying within myself. But now that I have overcome all those challenges, I was stigmatized, I was neglected, I was once disowned by my own father. Like it was just a lot of hardship while I was still young. But I had to overcome all those things, but through God's grace and also by destiny helpers whom God brought along the way. So if I can overcome all those challenges, which means I'm now using my lived experience as a voice of advocacy. I've turned my pen into purpose. I'm reaching out to different youth-friendly spaces with my team, where we want to see that each and every young person born and living with HIV should understand to say they've got a life beyond the HIV. They are able to dream big. They're able to become future leaders of today and not tomorrow. They're able to do whatever that they want to do, despite of them being HIV positive. It's just a status. So it shouldn't define what your future holds for you.
Excellent.
Exactly.
All right. So we have to end our podcast here. You got the message that Namakau has survived several things when she was young, when she discovered she's got HIV, and she's now generously sharing with us. I'm very grateful she spent some time, because it's very difficult to find people who want to testify on these matters, and Namakau graciously agreed. I hope you have learned something. You might be saying you don't have HIV yourself, but basically you, your family, somebody might have HIV, or in your past somebody has died of HIV. And also maybe you've got young people in the family that might get HIV in the future, and how do you want them to be treated? And it might be that somebody who is HIV positive is married into your family. How are you going to react? So I hope that the story is very inspiring, and we are available. Namakau is also available to answer some of the questions you might have. You can send them in our podcast. We are going to show you the contact numbers you can send this to, and we look forward to hearing from you. If you've got any other story you want us to hear on our podcast about something that can encourage somebody, why don't you get in touch with me?